Truth Man here, and the channel is the No Matrix, No Simp in All Subjects channel. So we gonna get back to the money talks. We're gonna do one more video after this, and that's gonna be it. Tuesday production has been cut short. I gotta get out here and get my own money, cause y'all not like paving the way like some of this other supporters of the other content creators are paving. But I ain't gonna Marvin Sapp, y'all. I'm just gonna do what I need to do to keep my paper right. But that's what I want to talk about. I want to talk about money on this video, and I want to get back into some tips, some pointers coming from the 99% perspective on how we can get up. Now remember, it don't matter how successful you are when you're dealing with numbers, because the numbers don't lie. You save $10, you got $10. If I show you, if you did what I said and you get what I say you would get, it don't matter. I don't have to be Warren Buffett to tell you this. It don't matter. Numbers add. Numbers multiply. Numbers divide. Numbers subtract. Numbers do what they do. So I want to get into some things where, first of all, y'all know, when it comes to the gig apps, like the gig economy, people don't treat it like a business, so they don't see the money that they could see from these. So I want to start out talking about this. Like, think about it. Most people is going to spend 40 minutes of their day getting to and from work, right? That's 40 minutes. So if a job tells you that they're going to pay you $15 an hour, it's like they really not paying you $15 an hour if it takes you an hour to get there. You see what I'm saying? You got to look at the taxes. Like when you figure out like what job you gonna work, you gotta look at the taxes, you gotta look at the commute, and you gotta factor all that in to how much they say they gonna pay, because those things are gonna bring the pay down. Now, this is why I always wonder why this Domino's here in Milwaukee, one particular store, how the most of the drivers that worked there back in the 80s, early 90s, they rich now. And I always used to wonder, like, that's weird. How is this possible? The two guys that own a lot of the Domino's, almost all of them in this area, they were making $4 million profit back when I worked there in 2006. Imagine what how the profit margins look for them right now. And those guys started out, they didn't go to Harvard, they didn't go to Yale, but yet they make more than a lot of people that went to those places, went to those institutions, because they figured it out. I told y'all about another driver that worked under one of those guys that worked at that store and ended up with a lot of his own stores, some of which he sold. I worked at his store for a little while as well. But one of his drivers, like, applies the same principles. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he ends up with his own store if he don't have his own store already. The driver, I told y'all about him on a couple occasions. He had 3 cars back in, what was that, 2010, and lived in a place, it used to be way more exclusive than it is now, but he lived in Presidio Square. Presidio Square used to be way more upscale back in the early 2000s, mid 2000s than it is now. He lived there, and so somebody asked him, one of our other coworkers asked him, man, how you living in Presidio Square? You got all these cars. He told him, he says that, and I hope I ain't mixing the story up, because I done told it a couple times, but I'm getting older, y'all. And sometimes I kind of forget how it go, but this how I think it went. He says that his checks, he paid all his bills and lived off of. But his tips he saved. All those years. Like, he was a driver for years before I even worked there. So I think he might have started around 2002. And just last year, I saw him out on the delivery. He's still doing it. So if he's still doing what he was doing, I can imagine what kind of money he holding on to right now. Because even with the bad tips, there are going to be some good tips. No matter where you work, you can go to the hood. It's going to be some people that's going to tip you. Another guy, Hmong guy, real cool. He was the top driver. Like, don't get me wrong. I wasn't chopped liver. I was out here playing around, getting lottery tickets, doing other stuff, but I still was getting 25 to 35 runs per night, per shift. But this particular driver was getting 40. And the night we set the record for Domino's, I came in at 7 o'clock. And I was closing, and I still had 40 deliveries. He has 64. They said that's the most deliveries. I don't know if it still is, but they said that's the most deliveries anybody ever had on one shift for Domino's. I had 40. It was all of us got off that night. Like, everybody had at least 40 deliveries. Like, especially the guys that came in at 4. It's like nobody got to leave early that night. It was a blizzard. And nobody left before 1 a.m. I came in at 7 and still had 40 deliveries. So, what am I getting at? Yeah, one thing I noticed is saving, no matter how much you make, you're going to have some money if you learn how to save. College ain't for everybody. Truck driving, all these different things ain't for everybody. You got to find out what you feel comfortable doing, do that, add to that, and just let your money build. Let your money build. Like with the gig. Now imagine if your job was at Domino's and you gigged before you went or after you went. You're gonna have a bankroll. People would be trying to act like you broke and you will have more money than them. Why does my screen look like that? You'll have more money than them. So, I hope my screen don't look like this on the video. But I can't go off because it's gonna turn off. So all of those guys prove one thing. And I was asking one of them, like, he was like a manager. He didn't even have his own store, but they was talking about how rich he is and how he could have his own store, but he don't have the patience. He don't want that headache. So he just was going around managing because he Like those guys was real close. Like they all was friends. When they all worked at that same Domino's that I worked at, that we set the record at. And they all talked about how they were saving their tips and how they would live together to save money and just all type of stuff. Y'all heard the phrase teamwork make the dream work. When you got somebody you could team up with, that's gonna make stuff a whole lot easier if y'all just team up the right way. So when you're doing gig work, right, I would say do it however much you could do it, but if you really want to see the money from it, you're gonna have to put in like a double shift in the gig is gonna pay you way more than a job, a double shift on a job. And I'm gonna tell you why. Because the job, they're gonna take out taxes. Remember, you got the commute. Like whereas you work, let's say you work the gig work, and you put in a double shift. You stay out there 16 hours, and you average even 20. Let's just be realistic, 20. You'll make $320. Now here's the difference. Wait, hold on. Here's the difference with making $20 an hour on a 16-hour shift from gig work. You can write that off as if you didn't make the money. So that's $320. Now, $320 in your hand in one day. If you good with money, like here's the thing with the gig, where you should be able to make it out here. You have all your needs met at once if you want. Like you could let the money hit your card, and if you need some money for anything, it's gonna be there. Like, if I would say if a person can really be patient, I would pay myself once a month. I don't have the patience from gig. You know, rich dude, come on, man. Because think about it. You don't already know how much you got to pay for your bills. And your bills will already be in there. The only problem I would say you might run into is when you're ready to take it out. Some of them cards will be trying to charge you. Now, I can go to Walmart on one of my cards and take it out for free. But a lot of them cards, they're going to be charging you $350. They're going to be hitting you. I think you can write that off, though. If I'm not mistaken. You can even write that off. So, the most lethal combination if you want to get a refund is if you got a job, you let them tax you, and then you doing gig work, writing off your miles. Man, I'm gonna tell you. But saving those tips, like I was thinking about, I said, man, you know what I should do? When I move, I should work full time in one of these popular like Domino's, like find a real high grocery store. As long as they leave me the hell alone, I work in there like 8 hours, like full time. And then when I'm not working there, do the gig 4 to 12, even 16 hours. You gonna have bang. You gonna have it. I'm telling you, you gonna get up there. See, the way the economy is now, you don't really need college. College is status, is for superficial people, like how you want to be like, well, I got a bachelor's degree in such and such. Whoop-de-doo. People want to be like that. But other than that, it don't matter. Money is money. $1,000 is $1,000, whether you get it flipping burgers at McDonald's or you get it in a career at a corporation. It's still the same $1,000. So it's all superficial. It's all a facade where people just want to act like, well, you got to do this, this, and this. No, you tell me what I got to do to get the money. I don't care about none of your little traditions, none of your philosophies, or what you gonna think of. What's the easy path to getting this money? That's what I want to know. People making more from Uber than people with 4-year degrees. It's dudes out here making $2,000 a week, $3,000 a week doing Uber. Y'all think I'm making this stuff up? $3,000 a week is in the highest making doing Uber. Now, wouldn't you admit and wouldn't you say that most people ain't making $1,000 a week? $1,000 a week is modest doing Uber. My thing is this, like the way some of these people act, I don't be wanting to deal with it, but you can make good money doing that. Lyft, Uber. The Midwest Express, that's a content creator. He showed his tax, how much he made. He made $107,000 last year doing gig work. That's more than a lot of your arrogant relatives, ain't it? That's more than a lot of your arrogant friends. They think they doing, man, I'm up, and they only made 70, 50, 40. You can make $100,000 easy doing gig work. And I'm not even trying to be like the spokesperson, because it do come with some cons. Like anytime you dealing with these people, it come with cons. Why this dude be coming by me, man? It come with cons. Hold on, y'all. I be getting kind of irritated sometimes. Cause this dude, like they really is pressing their luck. I noticed I don't own the United States, man. But you not finna bogart me out of nothing. I could care less if you to eat or not. And I don't say that like I don't care about people. I'm saying like I'm not finna lose for people to come over here and eat, especially if I know that they come from a country that I can't go to and get anything. They ain't gonna let me go over there and get rich. I wouldn't be able to get nothing in some of these countries. Racist. All right, y'all, I'm back. He tried to come over here and park by me like he gonna be able to. But y'all see what I'm getting at though, right? I don't care what no financial advisor or expert say. In 2025, the number one way you gonna have some money is to save. Let me see what I got in my wallet, man. If I spent, there's a million things that I could spend just money just in my wallet right now on. $20s, $10s, $5s in here, 1s, A lot of time, I like having a low bill. I had to use $100 bill that I had in here, so I wouldn't have to go at home or to the bank or anything. But would I have even this small amount that I have if I didn't know how to hold on to some money? I wouldn't. I think them athletes prove that. Look how much money be at their disposal that they end up spending. Look at them. Probably ain't even supposed to be doing it. Yeah. Saving, making it, you want to make it. Like you want to write down, okay, I told you about the 27-40 rule, where if you save an average of $27.40 a day, you're going to have $10,000 at the end of the year. So, figure out a way where you could do it. Everybody that watch my money videos, I want everybody, starting today, apply the 27-40 rule. You say, but I don't make enough. Do something more. Get the money. I wouldn't care if you sell single cigarettes. I wouldn't care if you making dinners. Get the 27-40. Now get more than that, but save that every day. Round it up. Do 28. Even in my car. Y'all hear this? It's way more than this. I don't spend every dime. I want people to think I do. Because people will start thinking you the bank. Hey, your problem, my problem. Man, he got it. Don't mean I'm finna give it to you every time. Now, it'd be some situation where I just be wanting to help somebody because that's giving. When you receive, you should give. You should give because you received. But every grown, able-bodied person should be out here getting this money. Y'all letting these people come from these other countries. They don't even like us. They talk about us. If we knew some of the stuff they say about us, we'll probably want to slap their teeth out. But we let them come over here, and you should make it so competitive that they want to go somewhere else. You know why they come over here? Because y'all Americans, all y'all think about is food, sex, drugs, spending money. Y'all don't put no pressure with y'all pursuit. Some dudes was more concerned with a woman telling them they dick big, excuse my language, than getting $1 million. That's a meaningless pursuit. Meaningless. I should have been started. I'm just gonna have to go super duper hard, pause. I keep saying I want to start at 6. Man, I was sleeping so good, I couldn't even get up. But stop thinking you're too good to do certain things. Like, y'all be like, man, I ain't finna collect cans. Them winos do that. Them winos eat cheeseburgers too. I don't see you stopping eating them. Them winos be having sex. They be having a bottle in their hand. Yeah. With their little girls. I don't see you stopping having sex. I'm literally saving my cans. This is what I said. I said, I'm going to save my cans until I move. Until I'm finna move. Like maybe 2 days before that. And then I'm gonna spend all day going back and forth, cashing in them cans. When my change start getting too high, I cash that in and roll the money up, keep it. Y'all be like, I got exact change. What's the point? You doing that because I always wanted to know. Sometimes it's convenient, but why do people emphasize on that so much? Like, what do you have against change? It's still money. If you go take $10 of quarters in the gas station and get some gas, I guarantee you they take it. He gonna be sliding his hand like this, putting all them quarters in his cash register. So, this is how I think now. Like, I gotta make up for all that time I was letting people get to me that I was moving on too fast from jobs. Y'all get the point I'm making? Them numbers add up the same regardless. But they subtract when you doing stuff where you're going to end up in jail. We talked about that earlier. 12 things YNs can do to change their lives. Dude, you make the right move, you going to make more than these dudes out here trying to sell weight. Putting their future at risk. Facing possible death and imprisonment. You get one of these McDonald's. People gonna come to McDonald's, especially if it's in the right area or whatever. You making money off any McDonald's. But anyway, I gotta get going. I do thank y'all for watching. We got one more video to come. Stay tuned. This is The Truth Man. The channel is the No Matrix, No Simping All Subjects channel. Make sure you hit the like button or the dislike button if you don't like what I'm talking about. If you don't agree with what I'm talking about. Hit the like or the dislike. Support if you have the means and the desire to do so. Preferably by Cash App, but also you can support through Super Chat and Super Thanks. Think about what I said in this video. Make me a liar. Put this to practice and let's see if I'm right or not. Let's see if you save $27.40 per day if you have $10,000 or more.